Hi there, everybody. This is modulistack, and welcome to Games of the Berkeley Overmind. Now, you may have heard a little bit about the Berkeley Overmind from the recent article in Ars Technica. It is a StarCraft AI, and it beat all competition in the recent StarCraft AI tournament. So let me tell you a little bit about the tournament. It was hosted at a serious academic conference called the AI IDE, the AI and Interactive Digital Entertainment Conference. May be surprising to hear that a serious conference is having StarCraft tournaments, but turns out StarCraft is very interesting for academics because it has a lot of interesting problems in it that really do need modern AI techniques to be solved. Now, this conference was held in October last year at Stanford University, and their AI tournament had 17 participants. I should say they actually had 4 tournaments, but the first 3 were kind of certain parts of the game, like micro and things like that. The fourth tournament rather, was the one which was about playing the entire game all the way through. Let me crank this speed up a little bit for you here. So, as for the Overmind played 25 games in the tournament and won 24 of them. So it didn't just win the tournament, it did astonishingly well in the tournament. I should say the tournament was double elimination and best of 5. That's why so many games were played. Overmind was developed at Berkeley, as you can imagine, it often being referred to as the Berkeley Overmind, and it was developed by a team under Professor Daniel Klein, who does work in AI, and has a lot of interesting ideas about how to apply AI techniques in StarCraft and how to use StarCraft to develop AI techniques. I should say I'm not an expert in those techniques. I am not an AI researcher, so that is not really going to be the angle that I approach this game from. I'm going to approach this more as a player and a fan. So, without any more delay, here is the Berkeley Overmind in the final game of the AI tournament, going up against Krasi0. I think this is just a one-person team who did this bot, and I think his first name starts with Krasi, so that's the name of the bot. I might choose to pronounce that Krasi or Krasi0 because there is that 0 at the end of the name, and completely ordinary type of thing going down for this Terran player, Krasi. Barracks and a gas. Fast expansions are, of course, more common if you are watching human players play in this matchup, but we're not going to think too much about what a human would do. We're going to just try to watch and see what choices these computers are going to make against each other. Scouts have found each other. Overmind Scout is just kind of sitting here. Its scouting behavior is actually very interesting, and I'm not sure why Sparky, that's the name of their drone, Sparky, is just sitting here, not poking around at all. Might have crashed or something like that. That is a very real danger if you were using computers. There was this overpool out from the Zerg player, an Overlord first and then the spawning pool to get 6 Zerglings and then an expansion. And now going for the gas. This should be a pretty recognizable build to anybody who played a lot of Zerg and Brood War. But the goal of these 6 Zerglings is to harass and gain map control. Now, they are, interestingly enough, not heading in the correct direction. I'm not sure why that is. Some kind of error. It may be that Sparky didn't quite know how far to go to look for the Terran player and couldn't actually see him. Those kinds of little problems can easily occur when you are trying to teach computers, because computers are not very smart, if you haven't noticed recently. By the way, these are the APMs up here. We see over 2,000 APMs for the yellow player, which is the Overmind. None of it spam, I think. I think those are all attempts at useful actions. And the Zerglings do come in here. Oh, nice blocking with the SCVs. Getting these Marines behind, not able to take out any of them with the Zerglings. In the meantime, he's going to put up a factory. So we are seeing a good number of Marines out. Not sure what kind of unit mixture the Terran player is going to go for. These Zerglings are running away. They know that they are outnumbered. And Sparky is probably going to run away too, although he is just waiting here again. Nope, he is going to go back home. Or, no, he's going to explore this way. It's always interesting to see how bots are able to be very active with units in ways that you often don't see with human players. Creep colony going up in the main base. We'll have to see what he's planning for that. And an engineering bay going down for the Terran player. This might be for turrets. It might be for upgrades for Marines. I don't think so, because there is not an additional barracks. It looks like we are probably going to see some kind of tech-oriented approach. The Terran player gathering a lot of gas. Not sure how he's going to use all of that gas. Sunken Colony going down at the expansion of the Zerg and getting a second extractor pretty fast. And that lair is just coming up now. He's not going to quite have enough money to get that Spire right away, and probably has guys off of gas. I've actually gotten complaints that I call drones guys sometimes, so I'm going to try to call them drones. He's pulled his drones off of gas, and this is going to allow him to get his drone production up really high, because his minerals will be high, and he'll be able to get these 2 sunken colonies down. But in the meantime, he cannot yet afford his Spire. Some of this may actually be reactionary. He might be aware, actually, when by he, I mean the non-gendered computer personality playing the Overmind, might be aware of this push going out across the map. Could have been spotted by some of those Zerglings. I didn't quite notice. But this is a kind of scary push for this time of the game. 6 Marines, 2 Hellions, and 2 SCVs to repair the... oh my god, I called them Hellions, didn't I? I am way too used to StarCraft 2. These are Vultures. These 2 Marines are going to walk forward to their death in these sunken colonies and Zerglings, and the rest of the forces, hearing the news of their fallen comrades, are going to return home. Now is not the time to push. These sunken colonies might be better positioned at the front, but decent job for a computer, I have to say. Spire is going up now. Again, taking drones off of gas to get that mineral income up. And you do see that his minerals are much lower than his gas right now, so that's smart. To balance out that economy is a really good idea. On the other hand, Terran player also has quite a bit of gas. He's researching siege mode and getting some siege tanks out. So this could be a response. We're actually seeing a pretty coherent idea here. Push out with a few units, see if you can do some damage. And this is a pretty good army to have against the Zerglings, especially we did see Krasi able to do some amazing blocking with SCVs, keeping the Marines out of danger. So with that kind of micro on your side, this could be a pretty scary little army. A few Marines and a couple Vultures. But of course cannot take out a bunch of sunken colonies, so that might be what these siege tanks are for, to just bust down that front line. On the other hand, it does look like that Spire is going to be out in time, and this push is in a lot of trouble if that does happen. Meantime, Krasi is expanding right here. The way the map is structured, this is sort of your natural expansion, but it actually doesn't have any gas, so that might end up hurting Krasi in a bit. I don't know if that was built into his programming or not, but might be wanting to take this base to get that gas instead. Spire is now out. Mutalisks are being produced. Anything else? Nothing else for our Zerg player, although he's going to put down an additional hatchery right now. You do see that he's totally out of larva, so being able to keep that production high will be important. This is in the main base rather than at an expansion. That will mean that it is more protected, but these Mutalisks are out now, and this is the really special thing about the Berkeley Overmind. You're going to see now this Mutalisk control is quite amazing. These are all being controlled independently, although they share common targets, and they will sort of focus on specific units at once. I think that Overmind did not see this push, but he's going to move in here and going after this turret for the first target. But look, a couple of SCVs coming in really fast to repair this turret, and this Goliath is going to get off several shots before that turret does go down. Now the Mutalisks are going to target against this Goliath, also getting repaired. So really nice repair micro there from Krasi. Just having these SCVs in good position, repairing each other, repairing Goliath. But now the Goliath is down, and this tank is just absolutely naked here. It's going to be killed any second. Repairing is going to make that take a lot longer, though. Marine going down, and look, just taking out SCVs, positioning the Mutalisks really well out of the range of fire. Getting a little bit confused by these Goliaths, but is going to try to target fire this tank. The Overmind does take into account a lot of different factors, like how expensive units are and how easy they are to kill, to decide whether to target them. It also takes into account threat, so you will sometimes see it target these Goliaths to just reduce the amount of damage the Mutalisks are taking. But for some reason, they seem to be greatly preferring the tanks, which is kind of a reasonable idea, because these tanks are quite expensive. And man, nice repairs going off, and I have to say I'm very impressed by the performance of both bots. By the way, hatchery has just gone down on the right side of the map for our Zerg player, or our Zerg bot, I should say, and getting Overlord speed, which always a solid upgrade, and getting +1 Carapace for the Mutalisks. Darting in and out of fire here. Of course, this kind of darting behavior isn't quite as good against Goliaths as it is against a lot of other units, just because Goliaths have such gigantic range. But see, the Mutalisks are going in now, going to try to target fire. Not sure exactly what they're trying to target fire. A little hard to figure out what's going on. I guess he's trying to kill this